Hi everyone, and welcome to Your Best You. I'm Reverend Dr. Kat. I'm your host, and I have my co-host. I'm blessed again this week to have Joan Kazmarzik. Hi, Joan.
Hi, how are you, Kat?
I'm doing good.
Good.
We pretty much know each other fairly well. We can sit this close because we're housemates.
Exactly.
So I'm just thinking as I was going around today and the other day before what happened just recently, which I'll speak of. And I came upon two things. As I've talked with you many times about the value of going out into nature and grounding and earthing or forest bathing or taking a walk along the beach. But in the yard that I was walking around in, I found two items. One is a bluejay leaf. It's a feather, right? A bluejay.
Those are tough to find.
Bluejay feather.
Yeah.
And I call it a bluejay leaf because I put it on top of a, do you know what this is?
I do. It's an oak leaf.
It's an oak leaf. You may want to talk a little louder for the camera.
Okay, sure. My voice is...
She's giving me the soft voice
The
that
soft
you won't
voice,
hear
sorry.
a word of. So, but listen, just so that you don't talk too much on that, you
Okay.
can just look beautiful for everyone.
Thank you so much.
The bluejay feather. So, like Joan said, it's here. You go.
Thank you.
It's not poisonous. It's a bluejay.
No, I know
feather.
that.
You know how
I
interesting.
found one a while back, and I was just thrilled because it's so rare to find a bluejay feather.
Yeah, we used to find them more often
Yeah.
when we were younger, but at this time it is kind of hard to find them. You don't see them very often. But actually, I decided to go look it up and see what's the meaning and what
Okay.
did they say about the bluejay feather.
Go for it.
A greater time of resourcefulness and adaptability will unfold. Why? Why do you think that's one of the energies that comes from this bird? No looking at my notes. She always looks at my notes. It's such a
I
fun...
can't read without my glasses on.
Right, that's what she tells everybody. She can't hear either. Ha ha ha. Anyway.
She doesn't know the
No.
bionic hearing.
Anyway, what it is that, think about it. When you go out in the winter and put the bird feed out for your birds, what birds are out there?
You get blue jays a lot, along with the snowbirds, the chickadees, and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, but I didn't know this. So fun facts, that I like to share with you, the viewers, and it's the fact that, think about it, the blue jay has staying power.
Yes, it does.
They don't leave.
No, they don't.
They stay.
They stay. And
Thick or
boy,
thin.
are they noisy.
Thick or thin,
Yep.
they stay.
They stay.
So I thought, well, that's fascinating. So there's something about the ability to, as I said, be resourceful and adaptable. And certainly during these times, we have 3 more months left to the year 2020. And we definitely have winter coming in the New England area and the America area, in the North, certain parts of the planet as the seasons shift. Okay, so staying power, the adaptability, the resourcefulness, you think of the ability to start to gather the harvest and to prepare for the winter months and what's to come. And then the oak leaf, again, the oak, we know the oak acorns, right?
Yeah.
Right. But the leaf, okay, you can hold the leaf up for everyone to see with the feather, it's called the oak feather, I call it. And the oak leaf is longevity, patience, faith, endurance, strength. Oak trees are strong. They endure.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, they really are very strong. It takes a lot. They're power. They have power.
Yeah.
You know, and for the Celts, the Celtic people, wearing oak leaves was a sign of a special status. So I thought that was an interesting entrance for us as we enter into autumn.
Mm. Yeah, and the leaves are starting to change now. They're starting to change color.
Yes. Now, I was thinking about that. The leaves are starting to change. What are the colors the leaves are starting to change to?
Right now, there's a lot of yellow,
Mm-hmm.
and then we go with the darker colors. You're going to see the oranges and reds. We are seeing some red trees, so the maples are turning red.
Do you see any purple trees?
No.
Purple leaves on bushes, and purple and maroon leaves on bushes, and all the leaves on the little azalea bushes. They turn.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they do turn it. They go from like a dark green almost to a purple.
Almost to a purple. Now, isn't that amazing? Because think about it.
Yeah.
What is that? It's literally the planet Earth in the autumn becomes the chakra glow chart
Oh, sure.
of the times.
Because all of the colors are there.
I called it what did I call it? The chakra splendor of life, I said. Because everywhere we look, there's colors are bursting, and the colors are resonating, the various vibrancies, as we've discussed before, that exist within their elements, as well as the physiological aspects, which I'll hope to get to a little bit today. But isn't that interesting?
Yeah, because then you think about too, there's a plant that I don't know if it's part of the cauliflower family that a lot of people plant. Talking about purple, and it's a fall plant, and it is purple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know which one you're. Yeah, it's almost like a Chinese cabbage or something. Right?
Yeah, something like that. But it almost looks like broccoli.
So here we are in that time of the year. We've come through such a long summer, or short, depending upon how quickly it seemed to fly, because we are literally on basically the end of September now.
Yeah, the
and
very
moving
last day.
into moving into October.
Yep.
And so I thought, well, okay. When you think about what happens when the leaves start to fall off the trees and the plants, and a new barren, cold environment is left open to itself, raw and vulnerable. I wonder if we sometimes feel that way.
Mm.
You know,
yeah.
We get ripped open, we get raw, we get vulnerable, But the beautiful thing about it is that we can replenish and renew, and this is the time of year to begin because equinox just happened.
Yeah.
So we had the beautiful equinox ritual ceremony time of equal day, equal night.
Yep.
Okay.
And now the days are going to get shorter.
Mm-hmm. And it's not quite All Hallows Eve.
Nope, not yet.
And we have Mars still in retrograde. Remember, I told you that's going to be for quite some time, through the whole month of October. So what did I tell you about that? Do you remember?
You said everything, basically things are going to be in turmoil. And boy, I'll tell you, that's been showing up where I work.
Yes.
The total mess.
People
are just a mess. That's the only way to put it. They're a mess.
Yeah, well, what happens generally is that Mars is, as I said, the aggressive, masculine, planet of anger and energy, and what it turns inward.
Okay,
and so instead of individuals taking that time, which is what this time is for, to explore those darker parts of our personality and to become in relationship with them and to evolve and develop them, to use, not to say that they don't exist, but to channel them into ways where they become more profitable for our soul, okay? So what happens is that a person doesn't do that, and then it projects out.
Yeah.
So it's projectile vomiting, projectile here, projectile there. I can't deal with my stuff, so I'm going to, I'm going to project it out on as if it's your stuff, but
Right.
it's not the other person's stuff. Or it may be because they may have attracted it. Some would say law of attraction. Nevertheless, everybody gets a chance to learn and develop if they're willing to do that inner work. And that's an individual process and an individual decision of choice.
Mhm.
It really is. You can't make a person do their individual work. So here's we are. This is a time, I say, it's a perfect time to get into an unconditional love relationship with yourself. Because you're going to see some things about yourself that you may not like if you take the time to take a look. But it's there, and it's a part of us. So it's not something that we go, that doesn't exist, I don't want to acknowledge it. It's a storm inside of us. That's kind of how I've looked at it. We have different storms. We weather storms externally. We weather how the planets are in relationship to how we are responding to them, because it's all connected. Physiologically as well, we are stardust inside. We're oxygen and albumin. We're just little elements of things, and then an infusion that came from where, right? So weathering the storm, you can't stop the rain, right? But you can catch it.
Yes, you can.
And you can use it.
Yes, you can.
So is it always sunny?
Nope, not
No.
always.
Is it always gloomy?
No.
No, it's not.
And
So-
like we always say, we live in Connecticut, wait 5 minutes, the weather will change.
Exactly. Connecticut is very mercurial.
Yeah.
But
Well, look at the way it was this morning and how it is now.
yeah, finding that zone I call the
The
Goldilocks,
Goldilocks
zone.
zone, yeah.
Because if you're expecting to always be filled with this kind of sunny attitude, I'm not saying that you can't be positive, but to deny the feeling that one is having is to deny oneself, and then it will show up unexpectedly in other ways because the self expresses itself. So what happens, I'm thinking, when we're dealing with a lot of stuff, okay, and I like to do a lot, and I've been a lot of time in kitchens over my years, and what happens? What do? We always know at the holiday,
Yeah,
we're cooking,
we're cooking.
we
yeah.
got something that we're working on
Right,
immediately, but
right,
what
right.
about something else? Where do we put it when we just want to forget about it for a couple hours?
Where do we put what? What are you talking about?
When we're cooking.
When we're cooking, put it in the oven.
The back burner.
Put it on, okay, yes, okay.
That's an old saying.
Yeah, it is.
Just put it
something-
on the
put
back
it on the back
burner,
burner.
you know.
and, yeah.
You don't have to address everything all the time and go, oh, I must, clean this up and clean house, metaphorically,
Right.
our temple.
You don't have to do it all at once.
God help you if you did, because
Right.
I think you'd be too exhausted to be
That's
able
for
to
sure.
enjoy it.
That's for sure.
Okay. Seasons come, I said, and seasons go in so many ways, but navigating the internal world between what was in our life,
Mhm.
depending upon how many years you've lived and the impact of the years that you've lived,
Right.
what is now in our life,
Yeah.
okay, and what will be. So being centered and present in the moment with a clear, unobstructed view. Okay. But our views have become clouded
Yeah,
by the incidences in our life.
that's true. That's true.
So it really becomes a part of our journey to be in relationship with the incidences that have formed us, because they're there to form us. I don't know, these are my writings that I'm sharing with you, to give you a sense of your best you and how you can measure that. Because just like Joan was saying, the weather is mercurial. And we too have a very mercurial way. Some are morning people, some
Yeah.
are evening people,
Yeah.
some are very more creative if they've got this type of music playing in the background. Someone wants total silence to be everybody's a little bit different, you see.
Yeah.
And we're all mercurial during the different phases of our lives as well too. Well, that's the beautiful thing about being a human being, is that we do have the ability to change. And to change for the better. Okay, so that's the beauty of evolution, is that it's there, it's possible, It's this song. You know, I like to do the movies, but it's another Christmas movie song, and it's I love life, life loves me, life is but a perpetual spree, life is good, life is grand. I love living the life I'm living, right? Because this is it. So, is it possible to leave the past behind and the imprints it made on our soul and not carry it with us throughout life? And what purpose would that serve?
No.
Right? Would it serve
Would
us?
it-
Would it serve us to
To
say, "I
say-
don't want to remember my past"?
No. It's part of it. It's part of you.
It has formed
It has. Yes, exactly. It's
for
made
the
you,
bitter or for the better.
Yeah, it has formed you. It is. It's what part of what you are. It's just.
And,
You can't.
and
That
if,
would be like saying, "Oh, I'll just cut my legs off."
Right.
But then I'll walk down the road.
right.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No. The I don't really get that metaphor. How is that related to the past? Help me out to hear what
Well,
you're
it's just
saying.
no. I'm just saying if you're going to say to, in that, you can't you can't walk if you don't have your legs. Okay, you can't be you without all three without acknowledging and looking at your past and realizing it formed you.
Mhm.
You can't live without that. You have to acknowledge it. It's part of you. It's part of what formed
I don't
you.
think you have to, but it's an invitation of developmental self to be able to see who we are in relationship to our past.
Yeah.
And then how that's formed us and how we have made changes against it, because it doesn't have to form you.
Yeah, but it
I
does,
mean, a
but
lot
it
of
does,
people who
yeah.
come from certain past, people find out, I can't believe that you did what you did knowing the past you came from. How'd you do that?
Yeah.
I thought you came from this past. Now I find out that was your past. Well, that's different. Or vice versa, you know. So you have opportunities. That's
Right,
the thing
but it
about
is-
life.
Absolutely. But like I said, you still have to be aware of it. You still have to know that where it came from. If you're going to make changes, you still
It
have
came
to know.
from ourselves. Our past is
Right.
part of us.
It is.
And so I just know that when Mars goes retrograde, we end up doing a lot of not even conscious, because it could be happening oftentimes when we're sleeping because of the cycles of the moon. And we have a cycle of a moon I made a picture of. It's Aries. Aries. It's the Aries, right? You think of that, you think, how is Aries so arrogant, fiery, and unpredictable? But Aries is our harvest moon, and Aries is our hunter's moon. And this is the moon that we're having coming upon us, that we're feeling already, that's making people on top of Mars being retrograde a little aggressive and fiery at times.
Yeah.
It's unpredictable, and it's like a cosmic caffeine rush, right?
Oh,
It's
boy.
like hyped up
Mhm.
and exploding out. So it's the hunters and the gatherers. And during this time, I think that what I was looking at is to think about, like I said, our past. We're formed from our ancestral, even within our DNA. That hunter and that gatherer, that Mars and that Venus, that dynamic of the yin and the yang, the chokma and the bina, the male and the female, the divine and the feminine. So as we've evolved throughout our time, we all humans, all of us, have become injured. Every one of us, whether we're going consciously, I'm not speaking specifically of, oh, I broke my leg. Rube, you can come over anytime and visit us. Come on over. And he can slide over to the sofa. There's plenty of room for him to visit.
I think I'll-
Ruby's been acting up because he's just been whatever, I don't know. He's been one thing or another with that little
Right.
boy. He is very sensitive. Come on over, Ruth. Let him just jump over there. Then he can
Yeah.
walk across the sofa. He knows how to do it.
I know it does.
But he too came through a weird past, so that made him vulnerable and confused and different things. I just float with him and let him be himself, But as humans, we've all been injured too and wounded.
Yeah.
And through this time, we have an opportunity to become like mindfully attentive in a way of unconditional love towards ourselves in reflecting over this year. Because again, I'm not going to say it too many times. I know I'm not. It's been a challenging year.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
And we're not through.
No.
And it's still challenging so many of us right now, that keeping mindful about the inner world and taking care of that time every day with yourself will pull you through this with the strength of the oak, right? And the staying power of the bluejay. So even though it's been a year of consciousness and expansion, it's been a year of powerlessness and loss of control. And we're in this continual dynamic of, what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
So being firm and strong like an oak tree, so that when these winds are blowing, you're rooted deep. There was a little information that came across my reading research pass, because these planetary alignments only happen so often. And through if you go into the archival works, you can start to read what many before us came and were able to chart these developments and notice what was happening cosmically and what was happening historically during the time. So the last time anything like this cosmic alignment that we're in right now was the Protestant Reformation.
Totally. That was a year or two ago.
Protestant Reformation.
Wasn't that like 1600?
Well, this is one of these real, rare planetary alignments. I'm not just talking about one of the planets. I'm talking about the whole gizmo.
The whole gizmo, yeah.
A shift in our understanding that we could read a sacred text during that time.
Wow.
Remember Martin Luther? Bang, bang, bang on the door. You're not going to take away our power. You are not the readers. You are not the God, right? So that
huge change.
Shift in worthiness, individual worthiness, to be able to read the Word of God and interpret it through spirit. See, whole big shift of power with that.
Yeah.
So we're going through another type of time zones like that. In this type of conjunction with Saturn and Pluto, and it's just if you want to do the further research, I'm just giving you the creme on the top. So you can kind of go, I do a lot of the back stuff and then just bring it in.
Yeah, she does a lot of research.
I go through different sources and, so I can keep it accurate,
Yep.
So we have this other thing that's happening in October, which is fascinating because it happens more times we've become conscious of it, is this blue moon.
Yeah.
You want to tell the viewers a little bit about what that is?
A blue moon means that we have 2 full moons in 1 month. So we are having a full moon October 1st, and we're having another full moon on October 31st. It doesn't happen real often. I remember a couple of them because I remember I did a little thing up at the fire pit one year on the blue moon. But it's like I said, it is not the usual happening.
So there's another element to take a look at and to consider.
Yeah.
And they're full moons.
They are both full
we
moons,
know, we've heard the lore, the old myth. Ooh, Wolfman, we got Halloween.
Oh yeah.
All Hallows Eve.
A full moon
Soul
on
Dead.
Halloween.
We got the candles being lit in the cemeteries coming
Oh
up.
yeah. Yep.
So all of this, even back in the times of yore, they knew that there was something going on out there that was influencing the things going on here.
Yeah.
And the more aware that we become of that, the more knowledge is power, right? So the more aware we become, the more able we are to maneuver our way through, navigate the waters, batten down the hatches.
Right, be ready for whatever's coming.
Prepare for the storm, whatever's going to be coming. Don't walk into it when you know it's coming.
Exactly.
Kind of demons of want and anger and fear and boredom and judgment. Those are the kind of, demons, you know,
Yeah.
not some guy with horns coming out of his head. But it's our inner parts of all of us, whether we are conscious of it, you know. So this full moon in Aries, and then I thought, okay, so we're all wounded, right? So we're going around, we all have these soft spots. The other day I tapped Jonah about something and she went, ouch. And I was like, see, everybody has a soft spot, you know. It could have been where there was a bruise from one of the animals.
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
but it was just like we all have these ouch hurt places,
Yeah, we do.
right? And most of them are invisible to one another. We don't
Exactly.
know, you know, where one another's been hurt. So self-love and being unconditionally loving towards our own hurts and helps us to then understand one another
Right,
a little bit more,
right.
I think, you know.